Hello and welcome back to Midwest Charge. It is a chilly, 20-something degrees. I think it's like 28 degrees outside Fahrenheit. And we are getting ready to head to Chicago. So my buddy Patrick just showed up in his Model 3 here. We're going to back out the e-Tron. And as soon as we get it backed out, we'll get the Model 3 plugged in. And then we will be on the road.
Hi, Antonio from the past here. Just before we get started on this road trip, I wanted to take a look at the BP Pulse site at the Travel Centers of America in between Dayton and Columbus, Ohio. And the reason is one of the last videos, I guess, that I made before my little hiatus was actually on the BP Pulse charging site that was over at the Travel Centers of America, and I think it's London, Ohio. It's in between Dayton and Columbus. And unfortunately, I had to report on how it was just not very reliable, and the site was down often. So I figured I would come back and give them a fair shake before we took off on the drive to Chicago. But I'm recording this like 2 days early because this is not on my route at all. In fact, it is the opposite direction, and it's over an hour each way. So let's check out the site. All right, now as we hop out of the car, I will say it is a freezing, like 14 degrees or 16 degrees or something like that out here. And unfortunately, we can see there are no signs of life, which is really unfortunate because the hardware is awesome. I mean, they went out and they bought these really nice, Alpitronic HRC 400s. They spec'd, like 8 of these 12 stations with NACs, which is super duper cool. Yeah, so it's like super unfortunate because this is really awesome hardware. We've got some good high quality stuff here. That's not NACs, but nice. We've got some good high quality cables. We've got some good hardware here, and it seems like we've got all the power that's needed. But I'm not sure if it's a grid connection problem, if it's some kind of utility problem, or a BP Pulse issue, or what. But this site is down, and that is just a huge bummer because it is a massive, massive site, and it could be a point of great EV throughput if they had it online, but unfortunately they don't. And I can't say it's super unexpected because I did check PlugShare before I came here, and it seems like the site has been on and off since about July, but unfortunately it has been consistently off since about the beginning of October. So I don't know what the future for this BP Pulse site is, if they're going to rip it out of the ground, or if they, maybe they had it powered up and then someone realized, oh, we weren't supposed to put it there yet, or we weren't supposed to power it up. I'm not really sure what's going on at BP Pulse. But yeah, huge bummer to see that the TA in London, Ohio is still offline. I'm still excited to go visit the launch of the BP Pulse Gigahub over by the Chicago International Airport. My excitement is dampened, I'll say, by the unfortunate state of this local BP Pulse charger. All right, and just across the street, here is the EVGo station, the collaboration between EVGo, GM Energy, and LOT, according to the lit sign. And yeah, I mean, all of these chargers work. Honestly, I had huge reservations about the GM Energy EVGo build out because there are only 2 separate physical stalls here. So there might be, or they're not 2 stalls, sorry, there's 2 separate machines. So even though there's 4 stalls, if one of those goes down, that's half your site. But, maybe EVGo knows something we don't about these Delta high power chargers. And I have heard of issues with the chargers. I'm not saying that these are perfect, but EVGo seems to be doing a much better job about keeping these chargers online than BP Pulse is, with a site that is almost triple, or I think triple in size. And with that, back to future me and the e-Tron.
All right, the e-Tron is out. The Model 3 is in, so we're going to go ahead and get it plugged in. We've got a little J1772 plug here. You can go ahead and take that. We'll put the Tesla to J1772 adapter on it. And that'll charge at 120 volts and 16 amps while we're gone. Well, I guess it'll show it, won't it? Once it gets plugged in. Perfect. And then, let's see, 15%. I don't know how easy that is to see. Calculating 24 plus hours. Ramping up now to 16 amps at 116 volts. we'll see it again in probably 16 hours.
Alright guys, it is 4:25 in the morning and we are getting ready to roll out. It is dark and it is almost freezing. It's 37 degrees according to the car. And we are headed to the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Or actually, we're headed to the BP Pulse charging site right outside the airport, but this is the easiest way to get going. So we're going to go ahead and hit start here momentarily and begin the trip to Chicago. We are at I want to say an 80%. Here, we'll go 4 menus deep and find out. Charging and efficiency, charging. We are at 83% battery. We were charging all night, but unfortunately my wife forgot to plug in the car, so it's not quite at 100, but that's all right. This car charges pretty quick on DC fast charging, so I imagine we will be stopping here likely in an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, in order to get to our first charging stop. And well, we'll see what that is in just a few minutes. All right, we are just a mile down the road, and we've got the navigation pulled up. It says 306 miles to go. We should get there around 8:41 a.m. Central Time, but of course we have to stop and charge probably 2 times, maybe 3, but I think it'll just be 2 times. So our ETA will likely be something closer to like 9:30 a.m. CST. But right now we've got 150 miles of range on the gasometer, and we are in efficiency mode. And efficiency mode is cool, but it lowers the suspension down a lot, and it's actually quite uncomfortable. So since we're not even starting at 100% anyway, and we're going to have to stop and charge probably 2 times anyway, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to comfort mode. So we will just change the toggle there, and it'll start raising up the suspension and loosen things up and really just smooth out the bumps, which will be quite nice and comfortable for the road trip. The e-Tron is not a charging monster. It's really good at charging, but the lack of efficiency combined with its 150 kilowatt peak, I mean, we're not going to be beating any records here today, so we might as well be comfortable while we drive. All right, we are 6.5 miles into the drive. We are averaging 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour so far. Hopefully we'll get it at least to 2, but there is a reason that this car is known as the Fat e-Tron. So I've got my my instrument cluster here, if you want to kind of zoom in on. I've got it all dialed in. So we've got short-term memory on the right. That's my efficiency, the time, the distance, and the average speed. I've got my actual speed in the center, along with my drive mode and the suspension setting, which is comfort. And then I've got my regen, my power level, and my battery power kind of surrounding it, with the gasometer just over top of the speed. And then on the far left there, you'll have to raise up the thing a little bit. There you go. On the far left there is my driver assistance display that I honestly just now found. I did not know that that was a screen in the car, but that shows the lane centering status, which I can demonstrate there. And then the adaptive cruise control distance, so 3 notches out of I don't know how many, I think 5. And then if there is a lead car, it'll show a representation of a lead car there in that empty void. So now we'll switch over to the infotainment system real quick, and I'm going to try to see if we can add a charge stop now that we have an estimated 136 miles. We are going to be going a little quicker, so the system is not calculating in our actual distance and elevation and temperature. The e-Tron's system, even without proper cell connectivity to the Audi servers, has a pretty decent range estimate when you plug in the route planner. But I'm using Android Auto, which disables the, specifically I'm using Android Auto Google Maps, which disables my ability to use the built-in Audi maps. You cannot run both at once, which is kind of a bummer, but understandable, I guess. So let's go ahead and get that plugged in. I think I'm gonna have to use voice for this. Yeah, voice only. Oh, charging station. So maybe we'll do charging along the route. See if we can find something about 100 miles out. All right, let's see. So if I check here, just want to make sure filters. I don't think it's actually going to let me tell it that I don't have a Tesla. So hopefully I've got this configured for not a Tesla. So we'll see what's this charging station here. Let's see. That's Richmond. Ah, okay. Now it's making sense. All right, EV Connect charging station. 19-minute detour. Well, we definitely don't want to do that. So let's see. Here we go. Electrify America. Did I pass it? 3, 2. Okay, so it definitely shows a red pip on the screen. Google, some feedback. Maybe make this less of a pain. All right, so option number 6 should be like option number 3, according to kind of the distance. And it's also way less of a detour than the other ones that suggested before this. So I think they need to do a little bit of work on getting the interface to work. But it is cool that you can do some level of route planning using the Google Maps, just bog standard Google Maps now. So just slow down here. We'll do, let's see, Tesla Supercharger, mostly successful. NACS available now. So I believe the NACS designation means that this is open to non-Teslas. But once we finish this clip, we'll fire up PlugShare and just confirm that. Make sure that we are actually going to a place that will allow us to charge. All right, we have confirmed that the Spiceland, Indiana Supercharger is an 8-stall version 3 that is open to non-Tesla. We had to double check that in PlugShare. I think the Google Maps API only shows the ones that are open to non-Tesla, but I wasn't able to figure out how to confirm that, so we're going to be headed there. This is a 2019 e-Tron. We just got support for superchargers like 3 months ago or something. Like basically right around the time that I picked up the car is when Audi announced that that support had begun. So there's a little hidden compartment under, under the steering wheel here where I keep a NACS adapter. So this is the A to Z NACS to CCS adapter, and this will allow us to plug in a Tesla cable and then plug it into our CCS port on the side of the e-Tron. So this and the Tesla app is going to be our way of charging for our very first stop. There's not really a convenient CCS charger over there, and so yeah, we'll just plug into Tesla. All right, we are 22 miles into the trip so far. We've got an estimated 125 miles remaining, and we're at about 70% battery. Spiceland is a lot closer than I thought it was, actually. It is 43 miles away, so that would put us at just over like half a battery, or right around half a battery. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to try to reroute to the Indianapolis, Indiana Supercharger, because that is further away and actually less expensive. We did a check on the Tesla app, and the Spiceland Supercharger is 35 cents per kilowatt hour at all hours, and the Indianapolis charger is 24 cents per kilowatt hour from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. I think, or something like that. So let's see if we can reroute here. I'm gonna be honest, I have not used the Google Maps system in quite a while. I usually just use my built-in Tesla Maps, so I think, yeah, there we go. All right, so remove stop is what I want. That's not super intuitive. Okay, perfect. So now we are heading to the BP Pulse site, so then I will do this, and we will do charging stations. And first, we'll see if we can get it to show the supercharger in Indianapolis. I think the answer is no. So then we'll do Tesla Supercharger, Indianapolis, Indiana.
There's a Tesla Supercharger 83 miles away. Want to navigate there?
And this Waterway Boulevard is the one that shows up in the Tesla app. And that is a lot more like it. So now we have been on the road for 40 minutes already, actually. But we're going to go another hour and 20 minutes, 83 miles. We've got 123 on the guessometer, so we should be there with under 40 miles on the guessometer, so like less than 20%, which will be perfect. All right, we are in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we have driven 104 miles from 82% to, looks like we're in the low 20s, or about 22%. We are 2 miles away from our charging station, and we are taking the exit off of Interstate, I don't even know, 65, I think, I-65, just now. So we've got 36 miles of estimated range remaining. It has warmed up, thankfully, to a rather balmy 47 degrees compared to the, like, 0 degrees Fahrenheit it was a few days ago. So that's pretty nice. But, yeah. So we are about 1.5 miles away, and we will be plugging in shortly. All right, we are going to plug in at the Supercharger. Unfortunately, it is a version 3, so we're gonna have to park in between 2 stalls here, probably 2C and 2D. So I'm just getting ready to do that. I would usually park on the end, that way I'm not blocking 2 spaces, but actually there are 2 Teslas here, and one of the Teslas is on the very end. So we're just going to roll forward. We'll change the suspension so I can get above the curb. Audi Drive Select, so we'll go 5 out of 5. So we'll let that start raising up, and while that raises up, I will find the camera button. There we go. Now we can see where we're going. So we will just nose forward. And there we go. We are now ready to plug in.
Jesus.
All right, guys, we are here at the Supercharger. We're going to plug into stall 2C. We've parked across 2 spaces. Well, actually, we're kind of taking 2 spaces. We're parked in a space, but we're taking up 2 spaces worth of chargers. So we will see if I can get this flap to stay down. Nah, tab broke off. All right, so let me see if I can do this one-handed, or 2-ish handed. So there we go. Now we've got the plug on there. So I will put down this flap, and sorry about the terrible angle. We will plug in the car, and then it's going to do a whole lot of nothing because I will need to open the Tesla app. So let's go ahead and get that started. All right, let's see here. Charge your other EV. And we are going to pick, well, where are we? There we go. Indianapolis, Indiana, Waterway Boulevard. We will pick stall 2C, 24 cents per kilowatt hour. Hopefully it doesn't time out. Usually you're supposed to do that first, but that's okay if you're going from the app. So now we've got it authorized, and it should take just a moment. Yeah, these, I'm really glad that the charging station is open to non-Teslas, but man, these short cables are pretty rough for EVs that don't have a charge port location in the right spot. This is the front driver's side, and because it's behind the whole front end of the car, even though I'm pulled right up to the charging station, you can see this is a pretty stretched cable. It's not the worst cable stretch I've ever seen, but hey, we are charging. So let's go ahead and see what kind of speeds we are getting here. All right, we're at 20% battery, 24 cents per kilowatt hour, and it looks like we are starting off at 90 kilowatts, 89 kilowatt charge speed. That makes sense. This car does not have on-route battery preconditioning. The idea was that the high cobalt of the battery would allow it to charge really well when it's cold, and it will just accumulate heat while charging and then charge faster and faster as you go. Or at least that is the theory. According to the Audi engineers, it uses as much power, or I forget how they do the math, but there's some calculus they did that basically they decided not to do on-route preconditioning because the amount of time that you would save charging is offset by how much power you use and would need to replenish, or something along those lines. So we're just gonna let it sit here charging at 90 kilowatts, and we'll do an update in a few percent when we figure out where we're going next. All right, guys, we ended up skipping the Spiceland, Indiana charging stop because it was pretty soon. So we are all the way up to 29% already. I believe we plugged in with like 21 or 22%. So we are going at a pretty solid clip here. And now we have to figure out where our next stop will be. So we are in Indianapolis, and we are going to travel probably all the way up to pretty close to Chicago. So let's see, there is not a whole lot of charging on this corridor, but we've got, this is Fair Oaks Farms, open to non-Tesla. So let's do some directions real quick and see how far away we are. 108 miles. That seems like a pretty good cadence. So we will plan on doing the Fair Oaks Farms stop next in Fair Oaks, Indiana. It is a version 3.5 station with 12 stalls, it looks like. 12 stalls. So this will be pretty nice because you've got the extra long cable type. So we'll be able to plug into the stall that we actually pull into instead of taking up 2 spaces like this. Okay, so since we are 108 miles away, I think the what we're going to end up doing is basically just letting the car charge to like 75 or 80% because it has basically a charging shelf. And then once it starts to taper off, we will leave. Can I get, let's see if I can get this to, I think I need to power the car all the way up to do that, which might end up disabling our heat. Let's see, skip the inspection due. All right, so we're 33%. We're 101 kilowatts. So we've already ramped up from 89 to 101, and hopefully it will continue to ramp. All right, we have surpassed 300 miles per hour, which I actually think is a really stupid metric. But we're doing 113 kilowatts now, which is pretty solid at 42%. Usually I think we're in like the low 140 kilowatt range. So we are not too far off our normal charge curve here, and it seems to be ramping up quite rapidly, which is pretty awesome. So we will charge up for probably another like 15 minutes, if that, and then we'll be out of here. Bit of a bummer, but we are beginning to ramp down on power now. I'm assuming this early power ramp is because of the cold temperature of the battery. We got all the way up to 129 kilowatts, and we held that up into, I think, 57%. And then from 57% to now 60%, we have ramped down from 129 all the way down to 116, which is actually still pretty good. But normally this car will hold power for much, much longer than that. So, I don't know, I'm thinking we have 108 miles to go to the next charge stop. Let me just double check that and make sure. Yeah, we've got 108 miles to go to the next charge stop and 110 indicated. So I think we will let this creep on up to, I don't know, 65, 68%, and then we will get out of here. We are at 69% because I wasn't paying attention, but we have fallen all the way down to 100 kilowatts, so it is time to leave. We've got 124 miles of estimated range, 108 miles to go, so let's go ahead and get unplugged. This is a pretty cool charging station. I believe there's 16 stalls. We were hanging out here with 3 white Tesla Model 3s until a brand new refresh Model Y just pulled in next to us. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get unplugged here. So I'm gonna hit the button, and this button here will stop the charging. I do like that there's a button to actually press, so I don't have to like get out the app and stuff. And then we half press on the A to Z adapter in order to get it out. The charge port door will automatically close, and then I will full press down, and that will separate the Tesla plug from the adapter, and then we'll hop back in and let's go. All right, we've got everything powered back on. I'm not actually sure, maybe the auxiliary heater did kick on this time. Maybe the aux heater just wasn't enough last time I tested it, because last time I tested it was in like the very, very cold. It was like, I don't know, minus 10 Celsius. All right, so we got 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. We drove 2 hours and 12 minutes and drove 106 miles on the first leg. So now we are going to roll out and continue on to, I forget, but somewhere else in Indiana. Somewhere 108 miles down the road with a Supercharger. So while we back ourselves out here, Patrick, what did you think of the drive so far, just the general driving dynamics of the vehicle. Any observations about the e-Tron you want to share with everybody?
So far so good. I kind of enjoy this driving. It also feels better than actually Tesla Model 3. Maybe because it's a bigger car.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's definitely a different class of vehicle. I mean, you've got leather all over the interior, real leather, all over the interior. It's air suspension, so this is probably more comparable to like a Tesla Model X. But yeah, you and I, we both daily drive Model 3s, and I would agree, this is definitely a step up over a Model 3 for sure. Have arrived. There are actually 2 chargers at this site now. There is a V3 charging station that I've been to before, and a brand new, I believe to be a 12 stall version 3.5 site, or version 3 plus, I forget, whatever the correct naming is. So we're going to go ahead and plug ourselves in here into the V4 dispensers because they have longer cables, which is awesome. Right, interesting. Okay, they've aligned these in a weird way, so I'm actually going to move. Usually they align the version 4 stalls so that they are centered with the parking space, but I guess they decided to not do that for 4 of these chargers. So I will switch spots, and we'll just roll right up. There we go. Now let's go ahead and hop out and get plugged in. So we got the adapter, and wow, it is not that warm out here, so hopefully we'll make this quick. I'm just gonna hit the button to open the motorized charge port, and the car is on, so it won't open. Okay, take 2. All the doors are closed, the car is off, so we will put that down, and then we will plug in. I will open my phone up and open the Tesla app. That's our charging summary from the last stop. So we'll go ahead and charge your other EV. Okay, so we are not in Indianapolis, Indiana anymore. Let's see if it'll catch up to our location here. Usually it just figures itself out. Okay, here we go. Fair Oaks, out of order 3A, and we are at 2A. So we will hit charge here. 2A, 35 cents per kilowatt hour, which is not bad. Attach the adapter and plug in, which we've already done. So, barring a session timeout here, should begin momentarily. So, pretty nice location. There is a restaurant, an ice cream shop, a museum, a gas station nearby. This is a little, some kind of like farm attraction. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's pretty awesome. I've been here during the daytime, and it seems like it's a lot of fun. They've got a whole like arcade area for kids. Of course, you know, farm equipment, hay rides, that kind of thing. Reminds me of a local attraction we have in Dayton, Ohio called Young's Dairy, which is a very similar concept to this, just without the cool EV charging. So let's go ahead and hop back in the car. The charging is starting now. We are at 9% with, let's see, 120 kilowatt charge rate it looks like. So we will bring up the screen here. We're at 10% battery. And yeah, we're starting at 120, which is not bad. Usually we would start in, I think, the high 130, right around 140 kilowatts. So the battery is probably still a little bit cold. From the last session, we didn't quite warm it up fully, but we should see a good ramp starting with this one.
like this is taking risk. I'm gonna be there with like
Nah.
3 miles like to save.
That's the idea.
Okay,
All right, we're at 55% battery, so Patrick and I are going to swap drivers now because I am exhausted.
yes, let's do it.
So we're going to hop out, and we'll hit the button here to disconnect the charging session now that we're at 55. There we go, pull it out, and there you go. I'll hand you that adapter to put back in the little hidden compartment. Oops. And then I will plug this
Oh shit.
back in. So, okay. You find it?
You say it was down here.
Yes. There's a little handle that you pull on.
This one?
Yeah, probably. You have to pull it pretty hard and down.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there you go.
I was holding, I thought like you have to touch. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's not that fancy, unfortunately. So, all right, it's showing 56% battery now, and just gotta get buckled in real quick.
And yes.
So there we go. 1 hour, 53 minutes, 97 miles. This car is 2-pedal drive. There's no 1-pedal drive option, so just keep that in mind. You do have regen paddles, though.
Oh. Sorry, I'm still used to.
No, you're good.
I will be okay soon.
Any thoughts about the charging session while we get on the road and you take the e-Tron for your first spin?
Oh yeah, let's see. I'm still impressed with how fast this car can charge. And yeah, since I've been driving it, it's a little bit tricky to drive it too. Like, look how bad I'm braking.
It is definitely an adjustment.
Yeah.
I am personally of the belief that the brakes on this car are far too sensitive.
Yeah.
You tip in just a little bit and it slams the brakes.
Yeah. It's like a new driver.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So there is an Audi Q5, the smaller non-electric cousin to this car.
Oh yeah.
And we are back on the road. The Google Maps has rerouted us. We originally had a route plan with 97 miles of driving, and now it's down to 90 miles. Same amount of time though, which is nice. So I guess we found a shorter route,
Yeah.
and I think we're going to be good on power because we're still showing 100 miles of range. So we got a 10-mile buffer to burn up, Patrick.
Yeah.
Put it in sport mode.
And that's really good for me, so now I don't have to drive many miles. I like it. Let's see. This car does a lot of options though.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah. They did not skimp on the options. That is for sure.
Yeah. It's also hard to figure out where those options are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Tesla has its own learning curve for sure, but I feel like it is much more user-friendly.
it definitely is.
Than this system.
I will give them that.
Man, I should have been recording earlier, but yeah, the e-Tron has configurable distance levels, and unlike Tesla, it actually does stuff. Like you can actually tell what the differences are. It doesn't just arbitrarily pick stuff based on camera view.
Oh, wait, I don't think Tesla does too?
Yeah, Tesla has distance controls, but they're almost pointless.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it has 2 through 7 for the camera cars that don't have radar, and yeah,
Oh,
I haven't found much of a difference between 2 through 7.
I think I prefer this more. I like this better.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot more well defined. All right, we've got 76 miles to go, 1 hour and 45 minutes. I don't know how well that comes across on the camera. Wow, that is some serious refresh rate. But we've got 83 miles of estimated range, and we are at, 40-something percent, so should be all good. As you may remember from my previous video with the Audi e-Tron and reviewing it, I had two little issues with it. One was the 12-volt battery, and the other was unexpected rain in the cabin. So we are now performing an official Midwest Charge test, rain test, to see if it will rain in the cabin. So far, there is no rain. The real answer is I forgot to check the forecast. But yeah, other than that, we're doing pretty well. We got 46 miles to go, 1 hour and 18 minutes, and 52 miles of range remaining. Patrick, any thoughts on the road trip so far? Anything you want to share with the viewers?
Yeah, all I can say is I really like this car. It goes faster than I expect, especially when you pass 60. I didn't notice I was going until you pointed out, and it's really rain. So, yeah, it has a really nice ride.
90 kilometers an hour, definitely kilometers an
Yeah.
hour, for sure, for legal reasons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But yes, it is very smooth and deceptively quick, for sure. So, awesome. All right, well, I'm going to get back to filming B-roll because we are about to approach some traffic, and that's not fun. We are 1 hour away from Chicago, well, from the BP Pulse Gigahub. Very excited to be there. It is 8:30 Central Time now, and we have 35 miles remaining with 36 miles of range. So I would say we are A-okay on the range.
This is really close. Like, just one. What did I do wrong?
Nothing.
Did I drive a little bit fast, or is it because it's raining?
No, I mean, it's a little bit because it's raining, but I knew it was going to do this.
Really?
Because the gasometer in the car is based on your past driving performance.
Yes.
But it cannot predict what the car will arrive with unless you use the built-in maps. But the built-in maps are from 2019, and I want to use Google Maps with traffic data.
I see.
So, yeah, I had a kind of a gut feeling of roughly exactly how much we would need, and that was the high end of 55, just about 56.
Uh-huh.
And so we
may have to push this car some way.
I really hope we don't. I'm not sure what this car will do below zero. But hopefully there's at least a little bit of buffer. But I think there's like 1 or 2 miles of buffer. So I think we're all right.
There's one way to figure out, and today's the day.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah, today is the official Midwest Charge e-Tron testing day. We're testing for water ingress, we're testing the range.
Yeah.
We are 24 miles away from the BP Pulse Gigahub, and we have doubled our buffer now from 1 to 2 miles. Patrick, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel much better now.
Yeah, I really think we're think we're going to be fine.
I don't know. Every time I really have, even in my car, every time I hit like less than 5%, I kind of worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to start pushing the whole car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your Tesla has a larger buffer below zero than the e-Tron does. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think I told you the story once how I was driving with 0%.
Yeah.
For a few minutes, and I was a little bit worried, and I could not even focus.
Yeah,
In 2 miles, take exit
range anxiety can be very real for sure.
It is.
We are 10 minutes and 5.8 miles away from the BP Pulse Gigahub. We have 11 miles of estimated range and a power limit of, I don't know, roughly 50%. So seems like we planned things well. The power limit is coming down a little quicker than I remember last time I brought the car this low. So I think we'll be okay. It estimates 11 miles. It says we have 5.7. That's like a 5-mile buffer. But yeah, that is not a ton of power.
They probably are out of charge around here.
Yeah, I think there's a couple.
Continue
But
on
if we like
I-90
run out
west
on the
for 1
road,
mile.
then that won't really help us.
I like it. Try to avoid.
Yeah, but we've got 4 miles left. Traffic's not too bad, so there's a shot of the power limit. It's a little crooked, but you can see here. much power do we have left, actually? So we're turning right onto I-294 South.
I-290.
We're at 4% battery. I don't believe the car has ever been below 4%, actually. I drove the car down to 4, maybe 3% on my return trip when I came back with it, but other than that,
In half a mile, keep right.
it's lived
Continue
most of
on
its life at
I-190 west.
80%.
Follow signs for O'Hare, I-294 South.
And we didn't get a chance to charge to 100 this morning, so it didn't have a chance to top balance the cells, which could be why the power limit is a little more conservative than it usually is.
I think I do really feel great, like, especially with the power. I was worried at
Continue
the
on
first,
I-294
thinking we're
South
going to
for
run out
1.5
of
miles.
range.
Okay.
But I'm glad we still have a few miles to drive.
All right. So you've gone from concerned to not concerned that we're not going to make it.
Yes.
And I have gone the other way. I was completely unconcerned, and now I'm just a little bit concerned. So, but I have confidence that that we will get there.
Yeah, and now I do.
All right, so we are 1.2 miles away. We are at, I believe, 3% battery. Let me just confirm that.
Continue for 1 mile.
2% battery. So, all right, we're turning right in a mile. Patrick, why don't you give it the beans and see how much it accelerates? Not a whole lot. All right, that's not a ton of power, but hey,
Yeah.
we do have, at least at 2%, we do have highway acceleration. So that is a plus. So I'd say the car's doing pretty well at 2%. Of course, really what we want it to do is continue to drive until 0 and not die before then. But I think we're going to make it. We are 0.6 miles away. So we've got the parking garages. We've got Chicago O'Hare here. Just saw like 3 planes go by. So we will find this Gigahub and get ourselves plugged in momentarily. You can see we've got one more traffic light, and that's the one
Go
right
past
there.
Illinois 72, east and turn right into the parking lot.
And I'm going to turn off the voice now that we have arrived. So we have 5 miles of range remaining now in comfort mode. And now I'm really curious, what percentage are we at? Let's see.
Oh.
Still 2%. So that's cool. We'll bring back the maps. So we are... Oh, I see a BP canopy. That looks like a gas station.
No, it's not this one.
Yeah, it's this one. This is it. So we'll just take this right turn right here.
Oh.
It is right behind the gas station. All the blue canopies.
Oh, nice.
So welcome to the Chicago BP Pulse Gigahub. We've got all kinds of cars here. We've got the EV charging from BP Pulse. We're just going to swing around and drive around, see what we can find. So we've got some Tritium, I think they're RTM 150s,
Yeah.
I think. I will put on the screen if I got the name wrong. We can see the distributed power cabinets here. Really, really nice canopy. This is top notch. This is how every EV charging site should be, so super duper cool. They just opened at 9 a.m. actually. You can see they have a BP Pulse booth here, and I believe we're doing some testing. We've got a Model Y, an EV6, an Ioniq 9, and a Silverado EV. So let's go ahead and find ourselves a parking space and check things out. All right, we have officially arrived. We're parking at one of the Tritium units to start with. We'll check things out, see if we can get full power from here, because this is a 400-volt vehicle, and I believe it pulls 400 amps, if I remember correctly. The e-Tron does, so we should be perfectly suited to these Tritium units. But first, we're going to walk around, check out the site, and say hi to the BP Pulse folks that are here.